104.5 The Team, your home for New York sports. The Belmont, the third leg of the Triple Crown coming up this weekend, and Andy Serling from Naira joining us. Andy, let's start with Justify. Did you see anything during the Preakness that led you to believe that this is legitimately a Triple Crown horse?
Well, I think we've seen during his races in general that he's a Triple Crown horse against this competition. And I think it's pretty clear based on what we've seen that he is the best horse in this group. I think if you were just to take the Preakness in isolation, I would say we're looking at a very vulnerable horse in the Belmont.
Ooh.
Because at the end of the day, he didn't really run that well. He ran fine, but, it wasn't a particularly fast race. It wasn't a particularly grueling pace. It was completely different than the Kentucky Derby. And, you watch that and you say, geez, this is a horse who's now made his fifth start in 13 weeks. 2 weeks after the Derby, and he's getting a little tired. He's a little worn down, and now he's got to go to Belmont in 3 weeks and win a mile and a half. Well, that seemed like a tall order, and it's funny because I actually spent a lot of time with his trainer, Bob Baffert, this morning, and he sort of said similarly that the Preakness, he first watched it, he was thinking like, all right, well, we've got this far, but, and he said, once he got back to the barn and saw the horse seemed no worse for the wear, and he was bucking and doing well, and so he's pretty optimistic. Now, that's great, and he should be, and I think he's very much the horse to beat, but I think you have to be a little bit concerned. He's going to be a very short price, and there are some horses in here that are a little bit dangerous, but he's the best horse of them. It's just a question, will he be the best horse on Saturday at a mile and a half?
Andy Serling with us from Naira on 104.5 The Team. So, Andy, based on the last two races for Justify, is it true that Bob Baffert and Mike Smith are doing rain dances at Belmont right now, trying to make sure the track's as messy as possible?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
All right.
It's not going to rain, so we're fine. It's funny. I remember years ago talking with Nick Zito, Hall of Fame trainer, and won his share of big races, and Belmonts as well, beating 2 Triple Crown hopefuls. And he had a horse named Commentator. It was a very good horse. And he was running in the Forego, and there was rain in the forecast. And Commentator loved the mud. And Commentator was a huge favorite at the Forego. And Nick and I were talking. Nick goes, I keep running into people that keep telling me that, boy, I bet you're doing a rain dance and hoping it rains for me. He goes, I'm running a 4 to 5 shot. You never want it to rain when you're running a favorite. I don't care if he likes it wet, and I think Bob's seen enough wet tracks. And maybe Justify doesn't love a wet track, and he's just such a good horse, and he runs through it.
How about the field overall, though? Is that the reason why Justify is going to be pushed? Because this field looks much better than the Preakness field.
It is. Well, the second best horse in this Triple Crown has been Good Magic. That's clear. So he's not running the Belmont. So arguably the second best horse isn't running. But, what's happened is a lot of people after the Derby, if you don't win the Derby, they feel like we're not going to run the Preakness, we're going to wait for the Belmont. And Todd Pletcher has been the genius with that. He's got 3 Belmont wins in the last 11 runnings. He's had numerous horses overachieve and run second and close finishes, stay thirsty, commissioner. So Todd Pletcher has been great with running the Derby, skipping the Preakness, and getting ready and pouncing the Belmont. And a way like Cloud Computing did last year in the Preakness, getting more rest and waiting. And Hofberg's been waiting in the wings, so Todd has Vino Rosso waiting in the wings. So they're dangerous horses, and a lot of people like Hofberg, and I think he has a chance. I don't love him. I prefer Vino Rosso of the two, but there's some horses coming back in here that didn't get their best chance because of the track in Kentucky.
We asked you this question, I think, the week before the Derby or leading up to it about Gronkowski and how his number was going to look because fans would just bet on the name. Is this a good enough horse that actually can compete in this field now in the Belmont?
It's impossible to know. It really is because he's never run beyond a mile, so he's going a half mile longer than he's ever gone, and he's never run the dirt. In general, just sort of, if you looked at it abstractly, I would say this is a complete joke because the idea that he's always wanted to run the dirt, he wants more distance, and he's going to compete with some of the best dirt horses in the world at this level, just getting a Chad Brown a couple weeks ago, he should be 100 to 1 in this race. And he's probably going to be a tenth of that. So while I'm sure a lot of fans that don't know that much that bet on him, if he were to win and pay $25, they'd say, oh, my God, I bet $2, I get $25. And I'd be thinking they should have gotten $200.
Right.
I will say, though, that he's worked well. Chad Brown has been effusive in praising him. He's been publicly praising him. I've talked to him about it, and he said, listen, this is a good horse. Jose Ortiz has worked him, and Jose's happy to ride him. And he would be riding Good Magic for Chad Brown. So you've got the last 2 Eclipse Award-winning trainer, Chad Brown. You've got the last year's Eclipse Award-winning rider, Jose Ortiz, on him. And he's a total unknown. So I wouldn't be totally shocked if he ran well in the race but it seems like a Herculean task to win this race, and I would never bet him under 50 to 1.
Naira's Andy Serling with Levack and Goz right now, 104.5 The Team. Andy, any fear with Justify being in the one position? Is that going to hurt, help? Does it matter?
It doesn't matter that much. It puts him in a position where he's got to break sharply, but at the end of the day, don't you have to break sharply from whatever post you're in? You don't ever want to get left. But it means that he's got to be under the gun a little bit. I mean, in a perfect world, Noble Indy would be aggressive and would clear, and he could find a way to set up shop outside of him. If I were Bob Baffert, I would be most concerned that Wayne Lukas has Bravazzo, the second-place finisher in the Preakness, and he has post 3. Wayne Lukas, as a very smart man once said to me, Wayne Lukas won a lot of big races by sending speed horses to the lead. Bravazzo rated in the Preakness, but he's a horse that has a lot of speed. And knowing Wayne Lukas and looking at it tactically, he's probably thinking, I'm not letting Justify get away from me. We're going to go after him. So I think if there's a thorn in his side because of his post, it's more the 3 Bravazzo, not necessarily being first and second, maybe second or third, but Bravazzo using his speed to always put Justify in a bit of a position.
Now, using the Naira Bets app, how are we going to make some money this Saturday?
Woo-hoo. I'm going to bet on Tenfold, who finished third in the Preakness and I think should have won. I think Tenfold is a very interesting horse for Steve Asmussen. I'm going to bet him to win. I'm going to use him with Justify. I'm going to use him with Vino Rosso, and I'm going to use him with a little Hofburg and Exactas. But I think Tenfold is an interesting horse. I think he had a bit of a trip in the Preakness, and there's an argument that he could have won. And for that reason, I think he's a bit of an overlay. I think he's a horse that probably should be 6 to 1 in here, and he's going to be closer to 10 to 1. He's an improving horse for trainer Steve Asmussen, same connections as Gunrunner, actually, trainer and owner. And I just think Tenfold's a developing horse making his 5th start, and he can win.
Andy Serling with us from Naira. So, Andy, you were there for American Pharoah. We have a chance for another Triple Crown. What's it like at Belmont? What are you expecting this weekend?
It's going to be incredible here Saturday. All the seats are sold out, but there still is some general admission available, and I really urge people that are coming down. First of all, I urge you to come. It's going to be a great day. The weather's going to be good. There's just great racing all day. There's 6 Grade 1 races. There's 9 stakes, 13 races, big fields, arguably as good a card as you'll see outside of Breeders' Cup. And it's going to be an amazing day. So people should come down. Get their admission now. It's $30. Come in, enjoy the day, and the Belmont Stakes is going to be thrilling. I mean, it's always a great day of racing, but when you have a horse that's going for the Triple Crown that's sort of attempting to make history, then it's a very special day. And, I mean, you don't want to think, I should have gone, and I didn't go and justify with a Triple Crown and miss seeing a Triple Crown winner. I mean, I saw Seattle Slew and Affirmed, and I still remember them. So you want to come for these opportunities because there won't be too many in a lifetime.
Speaking of history, Andy, this is the official Tom Gozlowski bachelor party at Belmont, too. It just happens to have a race or two going on.
I can't believe that. Now, is there anything special happening that I should know about or I should warn security about?
You should warn security.
Guys,
like
nobody's offered me an appearance fee. I'm a little. I want to know what's going on.
He's trying to leverage your friendship, Andy. He's trying to get you for free.
That's right. Andy, here's what I'm going to be wearing. I'm going to wear a Stenson, a pink bow tie, a pink sports coat. If you see a large human being wearing that outfit, just call the police. Along with a bunch of his friends.
I run from those people. You described exactly the kind of person I run from. That's great. So if you see a guy running from you, it'll probably be me.
That's right.
Where are you guys hanging out for this bachelor party?
What's up?
Where are you going to be?
Where are you hanging out?
Oh, I'm at an Airbnb, and then I think we got clubhouse seats. So we're going to be all over the Belmont.
Well, come see me. Our studio is on the finish line, the 3rd floor, and I'll be around the 3rd floor quite a bit during the day. So don't be afraid to come by. And if I run it first, sort of grab me or something. And if I call security, we'll work it out. Probably.
Yeah. Don't run, Andy. It's Goz.
Yeah. When my meathead friends start yelling at you, maybe with a few adult beers.
He didn't say bring your friends. He said you stop by.
Okay.
Right.
You have friends. I'm just impressed right now. I've heard about that thing, but I didn't really know about them. But that's great. Good for you.
Goodbye, Andy. I'll talk to you later.
Andy, best of luck
Saturday.
this weekend. We look forward to. As much as I love the Belmont, I'm more excited about when we get to start talking about the Saratoga meet.
That's great. I just want to make sure the bachelor party is a perfect opportunity to get all of your friends to sign up for Naira Bets, right?
Yeah,
that's right.
What you're going to do. I'm going to do all sorts of great things for your bachelor party, but you have to make everybody there sign up for Naira Bets.
It's a done deal.
Andy, I'm getting to do the show bet pool. Everybody's going to put money in the show bet pool on Naira Bets.
That's good. I like that. That's good. Absolutely. All right, guys. Have a great time. I'll see you tomorrow or Saturday, whenever it is.